Well, good morning. Welcome to another little video in the Oracle series. And I'm going to call this particular video, actually we might do the whole series of, call it Oracles for Africa. We've got one of our brothers in our Zoom meetings who lives in Nigeria. And we're trying to raise a little bit of money to be able for them to print their own books over there, because the cost of sending books to Africa is absolutely, for some strange reason, ridiculous. These, I don't have one, but the little, the little 50-odd page booklet that we give away for free, they cost us, I think it's $2 each. Can't remember, I'd have to get in touch with Annie, but they're not much anyway, but to send 50 of them to Africa is $400, which is more than they cost to print. So we're trying to raise some money for Brother Andre to get little booklets printed. Andre's just been made a minister at his church, and he's a very active kind of person, very beautiful soul, and very lovely singing voice as well, and makes nice music. So anyone who's been in our Zoom meetings will know that Andre's a fairly regular visitor to those, and a devoted servant of the Lord. So Tyna will have the links down below to PayPal, and I guess she just told me this morning you can actually somehow contribute directly on YouTube. We do get a little bit of revenue from these videos on YouTube. These particular ones, I wasn't going to put advertising to them because we weren't raising any money for anything. But now that this has come along, I guess I'll put the advertising back on at the beginning and the end. But also right at the very end of the video, Tyna has made an outro kind of, I don't know what you call it, a screen, a view of something. And there's links on there as well, there's information on there as well. So in remembering that your reward is saved up for you in heaven, dig deep. Somebody donated $100 yesterday, and that was beautiful. And we've had other people donating 50 and 25 and whatever. If anybody wants to put in 1,000, like we'll have an auction. Who wants to put in the most money for God, you know? And unlike, I shouldn't be naughty, but unlike other ministers who put their hands up and pass around the hat for good causes, 100% of this goes to Andre. So for his printing, I don't know how the rest of it goes in other churches and in other things. I mean, we're not a church really, we're just a group of people that are very heartfelt about our devotional practices. But anyway, I want to get on. I'm going to read the text. I'm just going to open it at a random page. If you haven't seen any of my videos about the I've only done 2, but this is my copy of the Urtext. It's one of 50 that was first printed after we got the Urtext through the court case many moons ago now, nearly 30 years ago, when we had the copyright taken off so that this could be freely given and disseminated and used around the world without any kind of control over it. And since then, we've gone on to produce 3 or 4 print runs of the sparkly edition of the Course in Miracles. Annie's doing another one soon, I think, which we give out for free. And the money to do that always comes by donation. It just shows up. We don't have any merchandising. We don't sell coffee cups with Course in Miracles daily lessons on them, however nice that might be. We trust in God. That's how we do it. We trust in God. The money always comes. It just shows up. And I love the story of A Course in Miracles with Bill Thetford and, God, my memory today. I was going to say Glynis Johns, but she does the voiceover. Helen Schuckman. Right, so if anyone's seen that, type in Story of A Course in Miracles, you'll get a very old, crackly sort of 70s video that was a documentary that was made about the beginning of the course, and Helen receives a phone call from somebody who asks them, this is prior to the very first print of it, asks them, can we get a proper printed book of this course, because it was sort of in this form, just photocopied pages, because this is very unwieldy. And Helen said, well, actually, we're just trying to figure out how to raise the money for that now. And the guy said, well, actually, that's why I'm calling. I've just sold some land and you have all the money you need to do the first print run of the course. And that's how it happens. And I get very joyous about that, and it's kind of concerning when you see all these Course in Miracles people charging lots of money to come to their seminars and things. It's like, just be miracle-minded about it. That's what you're teaching, isn't it? I mean, it's one thing that Holy Spirit says, if you have needs, they'll be provided for. If you need money, that'll come too. But he doesn't say to walk around with your hand out and ask people for admission. It's like, if you need money for a venue, it'll be provided. If you need a venue, I've done plenty of workshops and things, and it's always just been provided, and for free. Like for free, never any money. We did one about a month ago, maybe 5 weeks ago. We were offered this beautiful place across the road for free. This big reception room upstairs in this new. We didn't end up using it because we didn't have as many people as we thought coming. We just did it here in the house, about a dozen of us. But the offering was there, It was just a matter of stepping out of my comfort zone and going to ask, can we have this room, please? We're doing something for God here. And I've never been rejected, never been, like I've always been guided to where I'm meant to go and to talk to who I'm meant to talk to and ask about what I'm meant to ask about. So the fact that we can print so many books and give them away for free is just absolute witness and testimony to the efficacy of the miracle. It's like the whole thing's miraculous. The whole thing's miraculous. There are those, unfortunately, who take advantage of it. We have had stories of people who have been sent whole box loads of other course teachers, whole box loads of books for free, and they turn around and they sell them for $25, $35 each. And that breaks my heart, but then forgive. So you like to think that people give as they receive, but not always. The world is corruption after all. So anyway, sorry, I've got a hair up my nose. I'm going to open a page here. Anywhere you can yell out, stop. Oh, there we go. And I'll just read from the first, it's right from the top of the page. So the idea of the oracle is the same idea of trusting in God. I trust that when I open this book, that what I read is going to have some relevance and pertinence to me in my day and in my moment right here, right now, which I mean with the Course in Miracles, it always does, because there's always this opportunity to dig deeper, find more honesty, and offer that heartfelt prayer that God himself put there, which I can tell you is an absolute doozy. I wish I'd had like a recording device at the moment of the dark night of my soul. That prayer was absolutely, and it wasn't the words. Anyway, I'll read and it'll be perfect, right? All you have to do is close your eyes and listen. Not listen with your conscious mind that's trying to work out what I'm saying. Just listen as in, let the words in. Let them permeate. Try to focus on the action of listening rather than arbitrating what you're hearing. Okay? Because the tricky mind is very good at hearing something, let's say, or listening to something, And then, ooh, I know about that. And then it builds another story about what it knows about that. And before you know it, you're off in this whole kind of world about things that you think you know about, and you're not actually listening. All of a sudden you stop listening and you're back in your own imagination again. So here we go. Page 537 in the Urtext, which is the unreviewed text. Oracles for Africa. An idol is a false impression or a false belief, some form of antichrist, which constitutes a gap between the Christ and what you see, which is the body. An idol is a wish made tangible and given form, and thus perceived as real and seen outside the mind. Yet they remain ideas and cannot leave the mind that is their source. Nor is their form apart from the idea it represents. All forms of Antichrist oppose the Christ and fall before his face like a dark veil which seems to shut you off from him, alone in darkness. Yet the light is there. A cloud does not put out the sun. No more can a veil banish what it seems to separate, nor darken by one with the light itself. There's a typo there, with the light itself. The world is a veil over the mind. The physical world, the things I think I see, the bodies, the stories about the bodies, everything else that seems to verify the form association of the experience I'm having. It's a complete veil across the mind. It's not out there. It's in here. This world of idols is a veil. This world of idols is a veil across the face of Christ, because its purpose is to separate your brother from yourself, which it does very well. A dark and fearful purpose, yet a thought without the power to change one blade of grass from something living to a sign of death. Its form is nowhere, for its source abides within your mind, where God abideth not. Where is this place where what is everywhere has been excluded and kept apart? What hand could be held up to block God's way, whose voice could make demand he enter not? The more than everything is not a thing to make you tremble and quail in fear. Christ's enemy is nowhere. He can take no form in which he ever will be real. What is an idol? Nothing. It must be believed before it seems to come to life, and given power that it may be feared. Its life and power are its believer's gift, and this is what the miracle restores to what has life and power, worthy of the gift of heaven and eternal peace. The miracle does not restore the truth. The light the veil between has not put out. It merely lifts the veil and lets the truth shine unencumbered, being what it is. It does not need belief to be itself, for it has been created, so it is. An idol is established by belief, and when it is withdrawn, the idol dies. It's one of the reasons that you need the experience, or it's the main reason you need the experience. The only reason you need the experience. When it is withdrawn, the idol dies. As soon as you experience the truth, the world dies, in a sense, in your mind as being real, because all of a sudden you've had an experience of witnessing to what reality is, what real is, as being formless, and it seems to you to be more real and more credible and more desirable than what this physical nature of life seems to be, which has been superimposed in front of the truth. And I remember walking up the street one day in Byron Bay many years ago when I first saw the face of Christ in all my brothers, and not a face like this with two eyes, a nose and a mouth, a completely celestial type of face as a being of light. But all of the shops, the buildings and everything faded out. I was walking up the street and I'd just done a meditation in the morning with my teacher and a teaching session, which about 3 or 4 hours in those days. I'd sit there and with everybody else, and then we do our meditation at the end. And I was feeling so good. I'd just done a huge meditation, and I was walking somewhere up the street, probably going for a swim to the beach in town. I'd walked all the way into town the long way, and sometimes you just want to run it out, get some exercise in after you do big meditation. But all these people were walking down the street towards me and with me going up the street. Busy day. And in my happiness, I remember thinking to myself, I said, wow, these are all my brothers. And then they all faded out. Everything went to this kind of neutral grey. I don't know how to describe the tone. It was neutral grey, and there was tints of violet in it as well. Like, it just all faded out. All the shops, all the people, the footpath, the bins, the cars in the street, everything just went to this homogeneous kind of grey thing. And where all the people were that were coming towards me was these little points of light that were like doing this, sort of walking, I should do that because they're walking. And I realized in that moment, because the light was an extension of the light that I'd seen in my illumination, I realized, oh, that's my brother. That's right. My brother is not a body. My brother is not a body. My brother is the divine nature of the illuminate light itself within the body, which in a sense is not really within the body. The body is within mind, within the dream, which is within the mind of Christ, or within God mind. But it really took my breath away for a second, and it was like, and then everything came back, all the colors and all the definition and everything came back. And I realized that all the color and the thing was the veil. It's like, this is the illusion that was placed back over it from me being able to see all my brothers. And how beautiful we are. I know that seems hard to swallow and hard to fathom, because we're so long accustomed to looking at our bodies in all their young and old and dying forms, and giving that verification again and again and again, 24/7, I am a body, that for me to sit here in this video and tell you, no, you're not that body, you're actually a being of light that is utilizing that body to have this human experience, wherein you can come to remember the true nature of your divinity. That's going to be a little bit harder for you to swallow, because it needs the willingness to encompass that life is something that is well beyond the scope of mortal understanding. And had I not had that experience and the other experiences that I've had that have made sense of this book, I would probably be sitting here reading this, scratching my head a little bit. But that's why you have to get out of your comfort zone. You've got to quit your job. You've got to leave your family. You've got to do whatever you've got to do. Feel it in your heart. You've got to do your own personal pilgrimage. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and then all else will come to you. Then, not before. It's not something you can fit into your daily routine. This course is just a beginning. This just tells you what's on offer and how to achieve it. But it's you that's got to decide. It's me that's got to decide that I need to make a radical change in the way that I think about myself and others. And I have to allow for that change to be able to be reflected back to me in a way where I'm not trying to control the narrative all the time. And time is always against you. So the last sentence of that paragraph: an idol is established by belief, and when it is withdrawn, the idol dies. This is the Antichrist, the strange idea there is a power past omnipotence, a place beyond the infinite, a time transcending the eternal. Here, the world of idols has been set by the idea this power and place and time are given form and shape, the world where the impossible has happened. Just listen. Here the deathless come to die. Such a great line. Here the deathless come to die. That should be on a I think, Tina, we should get that on a t-shirt. A little picture of the world. Here the deathless come to die. The all-encompassing to suffer loss. The timeless to be made the slaves of time. Oh my God. Jesus is so great. The way he describes things. Here does the changeless change. The peace of God forever given to all living things gives way to chaos. And the Son of God, as perfect, sinless, and as loving as his Father, come to hate a little while, to suffer pain, and finally to die. Where is an idol? Nowhere. Can there be a gap in what is infinite? A place where time can interrupt eternity? Of course not. A place of darkness set where all is light, a dismal alcove separated off from what is endless? Oh, a dismal alcove separated off from what is endless has no place to be. An idol is beyond where God has set all things forever and has left no room for anything except his will to be. Nothing and nowhere must an idol be while God is everything and everywhere. What purpose has an idol then? What is it for? This is the only question which has many answers, each depending on the one of whom the question has been asked. The world believes in idols. No one comes unless he has worshipped them, and still attempts to seek for one that yet might offer him a gift reality does not contain. Each worshipper of idols harbours hope his special deities will give him more than other men possess. The world is an illusion pulled over the mind of man to keep him separate from the truth of himself. That's it. It's very, very simple. And it's a revolving door. Unless you wake up, unless you participate consciously in your awakening and put your whole heart and your whole soul into it, that revolving door goes around and around and around, lifetime after lifetime, until the end of time, which can be a long way off. That's Jesus' words too, a long way off. An idol is a grain of sand. An idol is a beautiful woman. An idol is a big pile of money. It's any idea separate from yourself. When you understand, and understanding comes through experience, because experience is the teacher, not through concepts. Concepts can change. Experience, once you've experienced something, it doesn't change until you experience something else. Then the learning of your lesson through the first experience is upgraded to the second experience, etc. But it's always through the experience by which you have knowledge to know something, not to perceive something. Perception is achieved only through conceptual understanding. So all of the mechanics of the dream, the sand, the women, the money, some typical male idolatry there, but All of that stuff knits together a wish to be not as you are. I mean, one grain of sand witnesses to the whole world. The whole world has to stay in testimony to support it, because a grain of sand doesn't exist on its own. It's part of an entire fabrication. That's why salvation is all or nothing. You have to find that prayer of the heart. It's either going to be total for God or not at all. You can't have a part of a prayer for God and then still part of your prayer for something else. You can't have a grain of sand and then hope for divinity as well. It's divinity that's the power used to manifest the idea of the grain of sand, but that's happening in here, projected out there. And when you see the entirety of your world disappear, you'll understand the power of the mind of God. Even though the physical realm is a reduction of that power, you'll still understand the power of the mind of God in being able to make a very convincing witness to something that isn't true. Right? It's like literally I'm using the power of God mind creating to miscreate the idolatry that I think I see around me as the physical nature of life, where all things come to die. We've got to get that t-shirt. If anyone wants a t-shirt, let Tyna know your size and everything, and I think we'll get some done. Yeah. All right, well, that's it. Don't forget about donating to the little book course for Africa, Oracles for Africa. If you've got a lazy $1,000, that'd be great. We'll write you up a tax receipt somehow. Thank you, and I'll do another one tomorrow, I suppose. I've got a rather full-on day today. And Deb and Carl, who are often in our Zoom, they're somewhere around this neck of the woods at the moment, so they might be dropping in. If they're here tomorrow, they can join me in the video, and that'll be nice. All right, peace.